You're not crazy. You can't show up in the world like normal people. You can't. You always have to be in your prayer closet. You always have to be moving with discernment. You always have to be moving strategically. You always have to be moving 10 steps ahead. You always have to be prepared for whatever. You always have to be on the lookout. You always got to be using your third eye. You always got to be paying attention. You can't move like a normal person. You always have to be prepared to go in the lion's den. You always have to be prepared to be in isolation. You always have to be prepared for the best. You always have to be prepared for the attacks that come with whatever blessing lands in your lap. You always have to be quiet. You always have to be different. You ever be feeling like, sometimes like your work and your efforts don't never add up to the way that it should based off of the work that you be putting in. You be putting years in, and you get close to the finish line of something and somebody comes in and attacks you, so then you start something new, and then it happens again. You get this close to finishing, and then here comes somebody else attacking that. Then you start another project in a whole nother area and lane, and here comes somebody else. You get this close to finishing and somebody attacks that. You probably done started like 10 different things. You get to the end of it and you can't finish it because there's always something that keeps you from making it to the finish line. Is that you? To be honest with you, I think what it is people see you and they automatically think, based off of the way that you move or the way that you are as a person, that you automatically think you're higher than them. So when you move in these environments, in these spaces, they don't think that you go through the things you go through because you wear it well. You wear it so well that when you do go through it, nobody cares. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. And when you are maneuvering in the world and you are using your energy to help people through God, you have to be okay with knowing that when it's your season to need help, the only person coming to save you is God. Don't take it personal. It is what it is. But here's the worst part. You probably get a token here and there of, oh, you know what I'm saying, goodness. And I know you want to tell the world about it because you done went through hell and back. And to you, that little crumb, that little piece of bread that you get means the world to you. But you can't share it with nobody, because even that will ruin the experience. That little bit of experience that you get, you can't share it. You have to enjoy it in peace. It's lonely. It's lonely being the outcast, being different. You be thinking you multifaceted and you can't figure out what you want to do. You be like, I don't know what I want to do. The whole time God done gave you all these gifts because he already knew. Just pick something. Pray about it. Pick something. And pray on it. Hey everybody. So I decided to do some inserted clips in between some of these videos to give you a breakdown from the Bible on what I'm talking about. The other night, I made some points, but I really want to implement the Bible and kind of give you an idea of what I was trying to say now that I actually meditated on it and I spoke to God about what I was feeling and expressing to you guys. So many of you may know already, there is many multifaceted people in the Bible, Jesus being one of them. And that was what I was talking about, just having multiple gifts and how God can use people with multiple gifts for his purpose. Okay, so I'm basically pulling out a list because I took some notes, right? And it says that King David was a multifaceted person. He was a shepherd, a musician, a warrior, king, poet, and prophet. And as a boy, David tended sheep, developing qualities like courage and care. Samuel was a musician and a poet. So basically, to summarize all of this, what I'm saying is it's great to have multiple gifts. And, you know, as a human being, it can be confusing because we can feel like we don't know which gift we want to use. But sometimes God uses these gifts to move us into certain seasons and certain areas of our life when he needs us, which is why sometimes you feel the call to move on to something different in a different season, and why sometimes what you used to love, you kind of get bored with it. God will call you in a different location for specific reasons. And so if this is you, if you're in that season where maybe you were being attacked, God will absolutely move you. And even if you're still attached to that specific gift, because like I said, it can be very hard to detach ourselves, because as human beings, we're naturally prone to attachment, especially to things that we love. So to be ripped away from something and not understand why God is doing it, it can be very painful. You're not depressed. You're just not moving in your purpose. That's it. That's it. Once you get to moving in your purpose, the world could be falling down, crashing. But because you are moving in your purpose and you are fulfilling your destiny here on this planet, you can sleep peacefully, you can move peacefully, and the world could be ending to right now. Sometimes you're in that uncomfortable space because you're refusing to take the first step, because you're not sure if the first step is in the right direction. But I promise you, once you make that first step, God's going to ease your mind each step you take. You just have to take the first step. You'll be able to sleep tonight knowing that you took a step. You'll be more at peace. See, when we're not moving in our purpose and we're not moving in the energy that God is calling us to do, we can't sleep. You can't function properly. But once you take the first step, you will watch and witness yourself be at ease, because the uncomfortability is in you not moving. Get to moving. And to wrap things up, I do want to give a specific Bible verse so that you can get a level of understanding on what I was saying in totality. It is Bible verse Ezekiel chapter 12 verses 1 through 7. It speaks on where God is instructing the prophet Ezekiel to act out of symbolic exile involving packing up his belongings and going through a hole in the wall. Basically, God is speaking to Ezekiel and having him pack up his belongings for exile in the daytime as they watch. Set out and go from where you are to another place. Perhaps they will understand, though they are rebellious people. During the daytime, while they watch, bring out your belongings packed for exile. Then in the evening, while they are watching, go out like those who go into exile. While they watch, dig through the wall and take your belongings out through it. So basically, this is how God can hide you in plain sight. And so while they're attacking you in this specific space that you're in, and they're hoping that they overcome you based off of materials, wealth, physical appearance, whatever it may be, God is getting ready to move you. So when they get ready to say, ha ha, I won what? Because you're no longer an opponent. That's how God will use you to move you and to redirect you, because sometimes he will bring you back and have you finish at a later time, and then have you win in another season, another area of your life. Don't get too attached to destinations. Don't try to fight the urge to understand it in the middle of it happening, but to surrender to what God is telling you to do, because like I said, he could be protecting you. He could be redirecting you. You never know. Ask questions later. Okay, y'all, I'm going to bed. I cracked myself up. Good night.